I knew it when he got my copybook. Once I really I
उसको बढ़ा नहीं सकते कितना बड़ा लाख डेढ़ लाख जाएगा कितना हमने बढ़ाना तभी 2 GB उसको बढ़ा दो इसका रिक्वायरमेंट लाना 500 GB से तो 5-10 लाख चलेंगे लिफाफा भी नहीं दिया सर ऐसे ही कैसे दे दिए लिफाफा भी नहीं दिया ऐसे ही
उनके बैग में रख दियो ना बैग नहीं लाया उस पर होगा ना ओएस पर
That would be good for him.
विनय जी नमस्कार, क्या हाल है? ठीक है।
कोई बात ना, आप इधर बैठो।
फिर बाद में
आखिरी में घुमाएंगे, बीच में घुमाएंगे। ये अभी बैठे हैं तो घुमाओ, ये अभी बैठे हैं तो घुमाओ, मुझे चैन नहीं आता। इसमें हिंदी बोलने वाले हैं, चपली दे तो नहीं चला जो इधर लग रहा हूँ बीच में वो तो लग रहा है इंडियन मोबाइल साइन कर लेते हैं।
Shri Vasudeva Acharya, Member of Parliament and Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee for Agriculture, and he has just delivered the first part of that report on GM crops. Welcome, sir, and our distinguished guests here this evening. Welcome and thank you for coming. This is an important conference because India today stands at a crossroads, an agricultural crossroads. Which way should we go? That choice will determine our destiny into the future for safe, secure food, with sovereign food choices for Indian agriculture, our precious farmers, their lives, indeed the prosperity of our nation. To address this debate and help us to decide that path, we have a unique panel this evening of international scientists. They are eminent and they are authoritative. I will start with an introduction. We have changed the order of speakers because we want this conference a little more interactive with the audience. We will therefore have questions in between, and we will also have a break so that in the second half you are nourished with some nimbu pani and come back, but very fast in 10 minutes, please. So I will start with Professor Jack Hanneman. Could you please raise your hands because you are now all mixed up. School of Biological Sciences, Centre for Integrated Research and Biosafety, University of Canterbury in Christchurch, New Zealand. He served as lead author of the ISTAD. It's in your programs, it's a long word, Jack will tell you later, and on the ad hoc technical committee expert group for the Secretariat of the Convention on Biodiversity. Dr. Doug Burren-Sherman, Senior Scientist, Food and Environment Program with the UCS, Union of Concerned Scientists in the USA. Before this, he was a scientist with the US EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, for evaluating the safety of GE crops, and an advisor to the US Food and Drug Administration on the safety of engineered foods. Dr. Raman Janenu, the Executive Director, Center for Sustainable Agriculture. Before this, he was an ICAR, Indian Council for Agricultural Research, and for the last 8 years, he has been involved in one of the most exciting experiments in India with huge successes in non-pesticidal management farming. Dr. Om Rapella, former Principal Scientist, ICRISAT, International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics. Dr. Rapella currently works with 8 farmer groups in Andhra Pradesh, replicating the results he obtained in ICRISAT. Dr. Walter Goldstein, Executive Director and Research Director, Mandamin Institute and Research Advisor, the Biodynamic Association of North America. Dr. Goldstein has spent a lifetime, 40 years in sustainable farming and evaluating it, and 21 years evaluating and breeding maize. Professor Hans Holm, President, Millennium Institute, US, and President, BioVision Foundation, Zurich. Professor Herring is also the co-chair of the ISTAD report and is the recipient of the World Food Prize. The final word will appropriately be given by Dr. Pushpa Bhargava. Everyone knows you, Dr. Pushpa, but still put up your hand. Former BC National Knowledge Commission and former and founder director of the CCM. Ladies and gentlemen, there's water on the sides, and I will now ask Jack, I beg your pardon, I will now ask Vasudeva Acharya. Please.
Friends, I'm indeed today extremely happy to be among the galaxy of scientists, experts, social activists, and other personalities, eminent personalities in many other fields. And I must thank the organizer of this international seminar for selecting a very important subject. When there is a debate throughout the world whether we should go for genetically modified food crop or whether we have other options. Our prime concern is the food security in India. How to produce adequate food, how to provide adequate food to the growing population of our country. Now, one question is being raised in our country particularly. We will not be able to meet the demand of the growing population, say by 2030 or 2050. The growth in the population and today the growth in our agricultural production. There is a mismatch in the growth. So whether there is a need for transgenic technology to increase the food production and to meet the food security. This debate is going on. Whether we need transgenic technology to increase our production, whether GM technology indeed helps to increase our production. So far, India, GM food crop, the cultivation of GM food crop has not been allowed. There is consistent efforts to allow the India, but throughout the country there was protest, agitation. People went against, and then the government, the minister, where we saw in the 4 metropolitan cities the opposition, the vehement opposition from the experts, from the social activists, and various people, from the agricultural scientists. Then he decided to put moratorium, cultivation of when our committee decided to take up this subject, we felt that this is a very important subject and committee should deliberate on this. We invited various sections of people. We received hundreds of memorandums, hundreds of documents, thousands of documents from all over the world we received. And we invited both those who are strongly in favor and those who are strongly against GM. Nobody could complain that the committee had not heard those are in favor. And their views are also incorporated. They cannot complain that their views are not incorporated in the report. Not in the recommendation, but in the report. Not in the conclusion. Committee has come to the conclusion after taking evidence from various sections of the people, from the experts, scientists. Many are here present, those who goes before the committee and help the committee to come to a definite conclusion. And I hope that you have seen the report. Now I ask one question, those who are in favor of cultivation of genetically modified food crop. Why in our country BT brinjal was selected as the first fruit crop for transient agriculture? Whether there is any relation with food security with brinjal? We have 200 varieties of brinjal in our country. There is no doubt of varieties. And our experience that after introduction of BT pattern, because we not only took the evidence and sitting in Delhi, had the meeting and sitting and took the evidence of the experts and scientists and agricultural scientists and representatives, activists, NGOs, but also we visited various states, had the meeting with the various section of people, and also visited a village where largest number of incidents of fish shining had taken place, where large number of widows who appeared before the committee and expressed the plight of the families where incidents of suicide have taken place. And then we came to the conclusion, because there is argument that there is no relation between farmer suicides with BT cotton, use of BT cotton. Today, 93% of cotton is BT cotton, 93%. And there is no other option, there is no other option. We asked a very specific question. When you are saying that because of this BT cotton, your husband had to commit suicide, then why you are doing it? The reply is there is no other. No other seed is now available. Same thing will happen if BT brinjal is not. Same thing will happen if genetically modified other food crops. And indeed, there was initially, although there was no increase in the production of cotton, but what happened initially, that means for 3-4 years, because of the pests, the cotton which was damaged because of pests, that was. I asked specific question whether there was increase in the production. Actually, there was no increase in the production. But what happened? There was no damage because of pest. And after 4 years, when euphoria was over, then the use of fertilizer was increased. You know that now the regime has been changed from variable subsidy to fixed subsidy and variable fixed price to variable price. Subsidy is fixed. And gradually, this year it is 1.7% of GDP. It will come down to 1.2% within 2-3 years. Subsidy will be reduced and price of fertilizer will be increased. Almost 7 urea manufacturing units have been closed down in our country, and we are importing, we are depending on import of fertilizer. So price of fertilizer has increased, use of fertilizer was increased, use of pesticide was increased. Thereby, profit margin, there was no profit margin. Because the cost of agricultural inputs increased by 30 to 35%, and there has not been substantial increase. So my view is that we will not be able to achieve food security, which is our prime concern, to feed the millions and millions of the people, the growing population of our country. We have alternate technologies. if you can go for that alternate technologies. Because without using, I pointed out in our report that without using GM technology, we could increase our production from 53 million tons in 1950-51. Last year it was 257. Member Agriculture Planning Commission, Professor Rajit said. He said that it was 253 million tons food grains, and we have enough, even without using GM technology. Then why we should go for it? Why we should invite Monsanto again? Because they are ready, as the Walmart is ready now, they are preparing to come to our country to grab our retail market. There is a potential. How much within 9 years from 2002 to 2011? 2012 and not 2011, 9 years. By selling seeds, how much they have got, how much the profit was? Maybe 25,000 crore or 30,000 crore. On the one hand, 2,76,000 farmers committed suicide. On the other hand, one multinational company, they have the monopoly. 93% BTC, cotton seed is used today in our country. From 20,000 hectares to increase to 8 million hectares within 9 years. 20,000 hectares to 8 million hectares. How is the growth in the business? How much money to come? And the farmers, they have to farmers. So I thank the organizer of this seminar, because today there are a number of internationally renowned scientists, agricultural scientists. We have here Dr. Pushpa Bhargava. He has helped the country come to the country and he appeared to many other scientists. And I definitely hope that this deliberation today in this international seminar will definitely help to create a public thing. There is a need for a public opinion against the monopolization of agriculture. Because there is a huge potential in agriculture. That was why we are rather tempted. Ultimately, Doha Round was could not come to a conclusion and the agreement was not there. But continuously there is a pressure on our government, on our country to agree to certain conditions so that our market is open, our seed market is open, our agriculture market is open for market segments. So there is a need for creating a public opinion. I definitely hope that this international seminar will deliberation in this seminar will help to create a public awareness. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, my name is Jack Heinemann. I've come here to see you from New Zealand, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here. I also wish to thank our hosts, Terra Foundation and Aruna Rodriguez. It's also a very humbling experience to be here, to be in the midst of this panel, who I consider colleagues and mentors for me. And I hope that we can, tonight, discuss agriculture for India, taking advantage of both the collective wisdom in this room and the experience of this panel. It'll be my job to keep the proceedings rolling, interject, but also to create a window for you. We would like you to be participants, and not just passive participants. We hope that you will engage with us as we go through the evening. On the mild side, after every speaker, we will be asking you if you have any questions. And we'll reserve a little bit of time for 1 or 2 questions after every speaker. So be prepared. We don't want any awkward silences. So we'll be looking at you for your questions. And we will also have a discussion period so that you can, in a more comfortable and an extended way, grill these guys. Okay? And I'll try to help you. Now, I think you're all here because you realize that agriculture is important. It's the, well, perhaps after breathing and eating, the largest common activity of humankind. And it is one of our most destructive activities. Agriculture makes tremendous impacts on our planet. There is no debate among anyone that agriculture has to become sustainable. And nobody yet has given us an answer to this problem. The industrial agriculture in agro-ecosystems like the United States and Europe are not sustainable. And traditional agricultural practices are also destructive and not sustainable. So we must find together a sustainable pathway to the future. And this will involve making the right choices. And those choices are social, economic, and technological. So tonight we want to talk mainly about those technological choices. But we don't want to forget that the technology is a very distant cousin to the very important social changes that must also come first. Technology, if used wrong, is simply a Band-Aid or a plaster, covering the symptoms of some other problem. So we can't give technology too much weight in this discussion. But on the other hand, we must choose our technologies to promote our positive social choices. So we were looking for the right pathway, the right biotechnology, to make agriculture sustainable and to achieve our national goals. And in this case, you are the experts. You know better than I know, or any of us who are not from India know, what the best choices are for India. What I would like to do to begin the event is to give you a chance to talk now. So, I'm going to wander, and this is your assignment. This is your assignment. I am going to ask you to give me at least 5 reasons that you have heard or you believe are good reasons to try genetically modified crops. 5 reasons.
Nutritional security. Increased productivity.
I'm going to make it bigger. Good. Number 1.
Increase in productivity, agricultural productivity. Increase in agricultural productivity.
I'm sorry, what kind of productivity?
Agriculture.
Agricultural.
Income security to farmers.
Reduction in pesticides.
Keep biotech industry business.
He said keep biotech industry business.
No. Keep the biotech industry in business.
In business.
Indirectly.
Not to miss the technology bus.
China can do it, so can India.
Yeah.
Any other burning issues here? Any other burning positives?
Scientists know better.
One more reason.
So we don't want to disappoint the
It's-
scientists.
GM food is tastier. No, we did not say. University said.
Taste. Okay, I'm running out of space here. I should have double spaced. I'm gonna put that up here. Great. Good. Very good. Thank you. Now I'm gonna help her. Good. Now, thank you very much for that list. That's wonderful. Now, what I would like you to do is going to be somewhat of a contest. As we go through the evening, I would like you to recall this list of positives. Bring it to mind. Be active thinkers. We're scientists. We, of course, have thought about this issue for a long time. And, of course, there are different views from different scientists. We don't pretend that there aren't. We will present to you our evidence-based analysis of different types of biotechnologies for agriculture. And we just ask you to keep this list in mind, to see what you think at the beginning and at the end, whether we've addressed these issues or whether there are gaps in our analysis that you would like to explore further. This is our starting point. It doesn't have to be where we finish the evening. But if you see or are unsatisfied with some of the discussion, we will come back to it, either in your questions after the speakers or in our extended discussion. Are you prepared for this challenge? I can't hear you. Yes. All right. Excellent. All right. So with that, what I would like to do is introduce our first speaker, Professor Heisner.
Thank you, Jack. Distinguished guests, honorable MP, friends in science, but also on the farm. Great to be here tonight to discuss about a subject of great interest. Oh, sorry, we have to go back here to the beginning. So we will help you a little bit. No? No, the first one. Disclose the whole thing. All right, sorry about this little snafu here. So we'll talk first about why strategy towards renewable agriculture, and later on, toward the end, I'll look at the how. And I think that it will help you also with answering or commenting on your own points you just made about why we should go or GM. First, I want to go back to what we call, or I call at least, the mother of all reports on agriculture, the IASTD report, which was written by 400 people, 52 countries represented. It took about 6 years to produce 2,000 pages on analyzing agriculture. 50 years backwards, why are we in the situation we are right now, and where should we go with agricultural knowledge, science and technology to actually have some food on the table in 50 years down the road? So that's the major report. Obviously, many reports have been written since, mostly actually watering down the original message, which was questioning the usefulness of biotechnology, for example, and also the issue of trade, which is actually harming farmers around the world. So what did we say? So where are we today? Agriculture at the crossroads, and that was a very nice title. It's not from me, but I think it shows that we have to make decisions, real tough decisions, and we go forward. So one important point: today we feed, and I'll use the word feed here, 6 out of 7 billion people approximately. What we would like to do is to nourish the people properly rather than feeding them, because right now what do we have? Out of those 6 billion people who have food, 1.5 billion are obese, and more than 200 million people have diabetes too. And that's actually not growing because we don't have a good record on how much there is. And this is linked to basically bad nutrition, bad food out there. So we have a huge socio-economic problem coming on our hands in matter of health, which most countries won't be able to afford in a few years from now. The industrial food system uses some 10 kilocalories to produce one. You can do that when you have cheap energy. But now we know we're running out of energy, fertilizers become more expensive, we're going to run out sooner or later. So again, we have this huge energy problem, and we'll show you also what this does to our environment and climate change. The industrial and conventional food systems both need actually change because they produce a lot of greenhouse gases. Actually 50% of the greenhouse gas production comes from agricultural and food systems. So it's enormous. And actually agriculture then suffers equally from climate change. And we know that as we go forward, we're actually going to have major issues in terms of high temperatures, so temperature stress for plants is not easy to overcome, and also water stress, which is also difficult to overcome. So what are we going to do then if we shoot ourselves in the foot? That's what we're doing right now with the industrial, but also partly traditional agricultural systems. Soil degradation. The number one element to achieve food in the future is the soil. So soil health is paramount. If we negate this, as we do in industrial agriculture, heavy machinery, a lot of herbicides, a lot of synthetic fertilizer, we have killed the life in the soils almost around the world. And again, this has to be totally turned around, because you want a soil which is alive, which can mineralize the nutrients, and actually be a medium where you can grow a healthy plant. When you grow a healthy plant, you don't need as much insecticides, you probably won't need any GMOs to begin with, and you grow a quality food. So why not starting there? Running out of natural resources, and we move on. So we have to be very careful there. Water, again, is also an issue. And biodiversity, clearly, we need more of it rather than less. And I think the trend of industrial agriculture is actually to go the other way. Less and less biodiversity in our varieties, so within varieties and also across. And so this natural resource problem, and then we have a social problem, is actually agriculture, who could be an employer of people, is actually putting people out of jobs. Now, I'm not saying that we have to have 60% of the population in agriculture, but 1 or 2% is on the other end is not really the right thing. Not when we're going to have 2 or even 3 billion more people. What are they going to do? If not also working in agriculture. But for that, we need to raise the